Hey, what's up everybody? Today, I have something kind of special I want to share with you. Today, we're going to do 3 videos in one. We're going to do a review, we're going to talk about a lost treasure, which is this, and we're going to talk about a new series called Casual Shooting. You know, I have a series on my channel called Casual Camping. This is Casual Shooting. And so, I'll explain in a moment why it's called casual shooting. But first, let's get into some history here. And what am I talking about? Alright. This is the High Point Firearms 995 9mm Carbine. Or a carbine if you want to call it that. This weapon I purchased in about 1997 at Tony's Gun Store in Alexandria, Kentucky. And Tony's Gun Store has now been turned to a gas station, so he's no longer there. But one thing that was cool about his shop, in the front window, he had this picture of Rambo from First Blood. Was it First Blood Part 2? Yeah, Rambo Part 2. It's the one where he's bare-chested. He's got it all slicked up in oil. And he's got his M60 go bup, 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 bup. And on the on the sign of it, next to it, it said, "I buy all my guns from Tony." Something like that. It was real funny at the time. But anyway, I ended up buying this because a friend of mine, and he's the guy who's actually been maintaining this for me while I was overseas, he bought it, he loved it, and he was getting into guns himself. And so, you know, hey man, I was working, you know, it's like kind of exposure, got curious. We were having some fun plunking away at it. So, I made my own purchase. I paid, I think about $200 for this. Maybe less. According to the advertisement, which I still have right here, it was $169 and change. You can see it right there. Now, it's worth mentioning, this is the original version for those who don't know. There was an upgraded version that came out several years ago called the 995 TS, which I don't know what, tactical stock or something. It had a recoil buffer, like a spring recoil buffer here, or a recoil buffer stock. So like it would actually spring when it would shoot back. And I'm going to say this wrong, forgive me. The Picatinny, or the new modern update rail systems are like here, so you can put optics and all kinds of stuff on. As you can see, this does not have that. This is the original. Now, that's the history of it. And so, for 9 years, 2007 to December, like, and change, really, because I came home December 26, 2016. This weapon had been maintained and taken by others. I think I got my eyes on it once or twice during the visit, but I never used it. So, it's now time. I'm home for a while at least. I'm taking it out. I'm doing the maintenance and all. And so, I want to do a review on it. And I want to get it out and do some shooting and get some further videos on this for you all. But let's talk about the casual shooting aspect. Okay, so when I bought this, then and now actually, I consider myself a casual shooter. And what that means is not that I don't like shooting. Guns can be fun. Even if you're even if you don't like guns, so the reality is they're just fun. You can get a BB gun, go shoot some cans, right? It's fun. It's a sport. You get something like this, it's just fun to watch, you know, hear the sounds, watch the rounds, more stuff go boom, boom, boom. It's a sport, right? You know, like a machine gun. I like firing machine guns. That's one of the cool things about being in the military. I don't want to kill anybody with it, to be honest with you. But it is fun when you get with like hardware, like just to watch explosions, sounds, and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just fun. But as a casual shooter who has to pay this stuff on his own dime, I'm not looking to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars then and now in weaponry. So I just use this basically as my main weapon for shooting. It was cheap. I took it on a hunting trip once. I was able to go in the woods, shoot with it. We would go like target ranges, like indoor ranges, shoot with it. Really good for that. It uses 9mm ammunition, okay, which is reasonably affordable, about $15 a box. I was able to get these on sale for like $11 and change. 50 rounds, you know, it's a good little weekend practice or something, not a big deal. So that's the history of it. And so as a casual shooter, I think this might be worth your consideration. And this is where we're going to go into the review portion. Okay, if you were to go to the store, well, let's not go there yet. Let's talk about this version of the rifle. So first, let's get into a nice close-up view. Okay, I want you to see all that. See all these like bolts, right? And like right there, maybe there, and all these places. That's going to come in important later in the review. And if you look, let's see if we can do this. Let's see how I can do this for you. There we go. You got an adjustable sight here. You got your front sight there. The buttstock, it's plastic. It doesn't open up. So you can't store anything inside unless you want to modify it, I guess. You got your swivel sling here. Sling, by modern standards, is pretty basic, okay? And of course your magazine goes in here. Your safety goes here. And your charging handle. See, nothing there. Put that back. That's that. It is, you know, like I said, pretty simple in that regard. So for casual shooting, here's what's really appealing about this. The modern version of this will cost you about $300, give or take where you find it. This was $200. It's easy to use. Without the optical sights or just like this, it is pretty easy just to aim, shoot. It's reliable. I know High Point Arms has a bad reputation with some people, but I have found this weapon to be dependable. My friend who is maintaining, who's a big proponent of firearms, or High Point Arms, he said it was very dependable. His High Point's never given him problems. So I stand by that. I have not had issues with this when I used it. Dependable, easy to use, inexpensive. Pretty cool, right? You could actually shoot this because it is 9mm in one hand. I gotta get to the range and make a video to see how accurate it is. It's been a long time since I did that. Those are the pros of it. Now there are some criticisms of this weapon which are, you know, fair. And let's cover those criticisms. Okay, number one, the 10-round magazine. A lot of people complain about this. And you have to understand, this weapon was developed during the assault weapons ban in the 1990s. And then during that time you could only have a 10-round magazine. So that's why High Point developed this. Now, of course, that went away in 2004, so in the later 2000s, High Point develops the upgrade, and they still haven't addressed that concern. It's still a 10-round magazine. And so, you know, people have complained about that. Yeah, that's kind of fair. I mean, I don't necessarily call it a deal breaker. If you're just using for something sport, light hunting or so, it's not really that big of a deal. But maybe if you're going, I don't know, if you plan on for end of the world, you know, fighting the zombies or something, you want a lot of ammo, then it's an issue. Okay, so that's a problem. Some people complain about reliability or something. I've never had that, so I don't complain about it. But one thing it is, and some people disagree. My friend disagrees on this. See all these bolts and stuff? Alright, in order to take these off, you need the adjuster tool, which is right here. And then, according to the manual, let me dig this up again. Magazine must be removed, disassembly, right here, using a 5/16 inch wrench or nut driver and the adjustment tool provided with the rifle. Unscrew the shroud screws and set them aside. So you got to get a wrench, you got to get this, and you got to get in here and take all this apart. And this is what the weapon looks like disassembled. I think it's right here. Yeah. Hope you're seeing that. Right there. So, you know, I consider that kind of a complaint. It's not really a big deal. Honestly, if you're like shooting, let's call it your backyard, your local range, you're looking for some home defense, it's really not that big of a deal because these are places that are controlled environments, relatively safe, if you will. And so if you have an issue, as long as you have the tools with, you can take it apart and play with it. Not a big deal. But I wouldn't want this on a hunting trip. Like, I mean, like say a couple days or even overnight maybe, because you're like a lesson learned from the military. When you're far from home, you know, logistics, you don't have like lots of repair parts and spares around, right? So you got to make sure everything's maintained. And so simplicity is key. Like an M4 and other rifles, you know, you can pop out like a couple pins, the upper receiver, the lower receiver will come apart, and you can do your field maintenance from there. I don't have to have stuff like that. I don't want to have to, be honest with you, carry stuff like this around and worry about losing it in order to do, like, cleaning this weapon. And just for fun, let's say you are worried about the zombie apocalypse, or let's just say looters, because we do have those now, and you're sitting there going pop, 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 you get a jam, you know, this is not something that you can quickly repair, okay? If there is a jam or something, it's going to take a long time to get into the system and repair it. So that's a complaint, or actually an objection that some people have. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. The style, some people hate the looks. I personally don't care. Looks fine to me. You know, it works. I think it's okay. I wish they would. You know, if there's 2 things, maybe 3 things High Point should do, I wish they would do with this weapon, is number 1, it's 2017. When they did, or even in the 2000, once the assault ban expired, I don't see why they have not come out with a 30-round magazine. It would be really nice. 2, I think they should have replaced these, make it pins like modern rifles. I have heard from my buddy who's really into this, you know, who likes High Point, a big fan of theirs. You go online to eBay and other online shops. You know, you can get actual replacement pins and stuff for this, which I've looked, I couldn't find them. But if they're there, that is an option for you. And he actually had like a modern rail system up here, because he took this off again with third party, or we want to call it aftermarket. That's what I'm looking for, aftermarket parts, and install the new rail system up here. But of course, all that costs extra money. And it's up to you to determine whether it's enough value or not. I personally look at it this way. This is like $300. I can get, what is it? I saw like a Bushmaster AR-15 for like 550 bucks. And what, a DPMI, I think it was the brand, for about 600, maybe about the same price. So I don't want to have to spend too much, and this is where the casual shooting comes in mind. Okay, as a casual shooter, I am not looking to have like $2,000 worth of upgrades on these weapons and stuff. So for me, if I'm going to upgrade this, I want it to be cheap and simple. If I have to spend a lot of money, then it's like, you know what, I might as well just go buy the AR-15. Heck, while you're at that point, you might as well just buy the AK-47 and all those variants they got out there, because you're going to be spending the same money, right? So you got to make a decision whether it's worth it or not, and depend where you get it from. I'll be honest, I would like to go for the pins. I think that would be a nifty little upgrade, very simple. And I might even go with replacing this. Get a nice optical sight, that could be fun, but that would be it for me. That's all I need to go with this. I don't need like a handle here. I don't need like the replacement stock. If I want all that, I'll buy the upgraded version of the carbine. But anyway, you know, hey, thanks for watching this video. I would love to hear your comments on this. Some people love High Point, some people hate High Point. What do you think? I just want to let you know, because I'm back, I have bought some like tactical gear to use at the range and stuff, so I'm going to do what's called casual shooting. This is gear that I bought that is dependable, but it's real cheap. And another cool part about it is for people who are not into guns, it's going to be multifunctional. Like, I'll show you how to use it for hiking, your fishing trips, whatever. So that way, you're getting good value from it, and I'll show you how to get cheap, because I don't want to spend a lot of, not yet at least. Maybe if I'm getting to a profession where I'm like an instructor or something, different story. But just for casual shooting, I want my stuff cheap and but reliable, and I'll help you out with that. Alright everybody, have a great one. Thank you for watching this video. Out.